Yep.
Hey guys, welcome back to the second hour here of Once Upon a Game. We're playing Ben Robbins' Kingdom. We just spent the first hour here getting everything set up. Our bonfire is set, and now we're going to burn it down. I think we had just a couple scene or locations that we came up with over break. Jeff, did you want to share?
Yeah. So my second location is an illegal opium den run by the Resistance, located on the Everbloom disc.
Yeah, because how could that go wrong or bad or anything? Awesome.
I'm sure everything is fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, real quick, by the way, if we haven't done it, what's your guys' genders for your characters? So we can talk real quick. Do we know? Just they or whatever or something? Does it matter? I'm thinking that just in terms of when we play our scenes, we know how to address each other.
I believe my
Um,
pronouns will be she, her to make
Okay,
everything simple.
cool.
Edison, he, him.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'll go with he, him too.
Yeah, the
Same
unbroken
here.
vow is also he. Um,
Okay.
okay, cool. Um, so let's go ahead and let's get to playing. So the first person who gets to go is to start writing up the crossroads or one of the crossroads that we will encounter. Um, you stay if you want, since this is be the very first round, you have to introduce a crossroads if it's your turn. And you have to state a question in terms of like an issue. So if there, for example, in the book is, will Cactus Flats outlaw liquor? Right. So like you put up a pretty like hard question, or like, will the Isle of Sorcery allow the Sun Tribe refugees to settle here? Right. And then you actually like get to ask the group, like, is this something we want to jam on? Right. And then once we do that, we're kind of like committed and locked into a crossroad. We will go ahead and kind of explore it and play, and you'll make your scene, and we'll kind of go from there. All right. So,
Cool.
who wants to go first? Nobody. I mean, I could do the first one if we want, but I feel like as a host, I don't, and someone who's played this game before, I kind of also don't want to be the first person to go, and like kind of end up doing everything. I'd rather other people kind of try.
I don't even know how it's supposed to go, so I would like to not go first.
No, like that's I think if you don't know how to do it, that you're one of the perfect examples to go first, and like I can help walk you through it if you want it. Basically, if does anybody have a cool idea for a crossroad question, like a poignant question we want to ask right now, that person should probably go. But if no one is feeling confident or whatever, I can step in and do it and keep it going. But
I'm trying to percolate on a crossroads here, and I'm trying to figure out what we call our kingdom, because it doesn't really have a name because we're kind of a loose conglomeration of humanity in space.
yeah, I like. Well, I mean, I love the idea that even though we made it to space, like somehow we maintain the illusion that somehow expanding further in space will solve our problems.
Right?
So
All right, here we go. I already brought this up. Let's do it. Will the colony on Charon get a seat on the council?
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and write that under one of the crossroads. And once we do that, you get to make a scene, right? And so when you do a scene, you pick a place in the location, right? You show us kind of like what you maybe think about the crossroad and stuff, and you can say other people are there, right? And then
Okay.
basically you can include other people into the scene, but those who are not included, at the end of the scene, they get to go and kind of throw in a little bit of a reaction to what's going on, like a vignette, essentially, like a little narrated scene. And then you tick a card. Okay.
So, Eric, one question.
Sure.
It's my understanding that the check boxes for Crossroads should be one greater than the number of players.
Did I? Oh, did I
Yes.
get the? Oh, you know what I did? I copied the wrong one over. I had Crisis. I mixed up Crisis and Crossroads. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Well, Crisis and Crossroads
Crisis
are
is
both.
1 greater. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you
I
got it.
copied I copied the 5 one instead of the 6 one when I brought over the my B.
Hmm.
We're absolutely right. Paste. Cool. Now we have some space to write on it too. Cool. Thanks. Okay. So, for the colony of Charon, get a seat. 20. So where does this scene take place?
So I think the most obvious place to have this scene would be the council chambers. So it's not going to be there. I think that this should be the premier, Gerald, and Elder Persimmon Praise all on the European retreat of the premier. We're having cocktails, talking important business behind closed doors, as you do.
Love it.
So yeah, like how do I just jump into this scene? Do I need any more setup than that? Or
No, you kind of like we already kind of went over the crossroad. We know what your role is as perspective.
as perspective, do I make my prediction now?
Yeah.
Or
You do.
okay. And do I do that?
Or we do it near. We can do it at the end as well.
I'm sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions, but
Yeah.
I know how games game,
Yeah.
and so when I'm answering that question, I'm doing it as from a player perspective or from a character perspective.
Yeah, no, you can establish. So you should be thinking about now maybe what you want the crossroad thing to happen, and then we play it out in a scene, or right, and then when the scene resolves, that's when you actually can formally write it down if you want.
When you're in a scene, predict the consequences of the crossroad.
Yeah,
Pick either yes
right.
or no. Describe something that'll happen if it makes a choice. Okay, so the kingdom will go to war. If yes, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All
So
right.
like maybe think about a little bit of maybe like where you want to go with it right now, and then we role play it through, and then maybe if you want to stick with it or whatever through the play, maybe it's changed a little bit or whatever. That's why I say think about it a little bit now and then give it later.
Yeah, aren't there supposed to be 2 lines of checkboxes for each crossroads, a yes and a no?
Well, I was going to actually do a normally what we do is with an eraser, but I was going to do red and green colors.
Okay. Sure.
There's one set of checkboxes, but two columns of predictions and commands.
Exactly.
Yeah. So one for yes
Okay.
and one for no. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I have not actually seen this game played or played it before.
It's okay.
So
it's mostly like free play. Like
flying by the seat of my pants.
Yeah. No, like
I love free play, so it's good.
Yeah, the rest of the mechanics and stuff really show up after we do the free play scene now. Right.
Gotcha. So I picture that we are like playing and like drinking bourbon. And I've kind of like strong-armed Gerald to get me to be here. And I'm here to talk with Premier Andronicus Rex and want to make my position clear. And Gerald is just there to kind of facilitate me being here. So take that how you will. And we cut into the action as like the premier like takes a shot and hits his ball into the corner pocket, and that's game. And so Elder Persimmon Praise is not actually that old, but Elder is the title. She's maybe 35. And she like puts a camaraderie slap onto the premier's shoulder and is like, well, that was a good game. Now, one thing that makes this game interesting. Did you know they used to name the balls in 9 balls after the planets?
Did they now?
That was back when there were 9 planets.
Well, I do thank you for letting me win. I always appreciate that. And Geribald, very kind of you to invite the elder, someone that without asking, that was that was special.
Yeah.
Well,
I know
a nice guy.
I know you enjoy surprises so very much.
Thinking of surprises, now I've got me some very fine whiskey. Now your whiskey is very fine, of course, but it's not quite as fine as we can get a hold of. And she produces a bottle of very rare Martian whiskey and says, now, they're putting up a bit. I know you don't want to talk business, but this is important. They're putting up a bill. They're petitioning to make this a Council of 21. And she opens up the bottle. She pours him a glass. She hands it to him. Now, when the council votes this down, there's going to be an uprising. Earth is going to burn.
Well, I had seen something about this on the docket, and I haven't really done any polling on it yet. But you really think that this is it would cause
crisis?
Okay.
I'm telling you.
The people are polarized. The majority on the planets are not happy that some off-world would get so much power over the rest of them, almost stealing power from them.
Whereas all the small colonies, those little independent ships, families been out in space for generations, ain't never set foot on any type of planet. They'll see this as a coup if they manage to get a seat. It'll give them hope.
Well, hope can be a useful weapon.
Now you're thinking, yeah.
Just so long as it is wielded by the correct hands.
You're speaking my language, Premier.
I'll think about it.
You're muted, Jeff.
Was I muted?
Yeah,
Yep.
you were muted the whole time.
Oh, so how is Gerald reading this? Am I reading this as Elder Persimmon being in favor of the bill to make Chiron a member, or
yes, she's in favor of it mostly because she has found a way to levy for more power.
Okay. Really, by losing a small fraction of power, you've found a way to get more for yourself.
Because the council member that will be put in place
Is your puppet.
will be under my control. You wouldn't know that, though.
No, but I think that I would probably step over and presume to pour myself a glass of that fine whiskey.
I think when you presume to pour a glass, Elder Persimmon takes the bottle from you and is like, "Oh, let me, dear," and she pours you
a very tiny
finger
amount
instead of a half glass that she gave to the premier.
Yeah. and I kind of accept my finger full of whiskey and look at it a little bit disdainfully. But I think I would look at the premier and say that if you're in favor of offering Chiron this gift of allowing them a voice on the council, the only way to appease the people of Earth and Mars and the other colonies would be to distract them with extra shipments of food right at the time that this is happening. Like, we need to distract them from the fact that they're losing political power by giving them a little bit more comfort at the table for their families. I think that they would love that gift enough that they would overlook some of the more dry parts of politics at the moment.
Well, you know I always appreciate your input.
Right. Well, then I can count on your vote at the upcoming council meeting then.
Presuming that there's some provisions in there for how we would handle the gratitude of the people on the colonies.
Well,
yes.
Gerald, you know we can't put that right into the signing of that. There'd have to be a completely different bill entirely. Now, I'd be more than happy to put my signature on that, and that will get you 2 out of 20. So that's a good start. We'll get right on that.
So, what are the people of Charon willing to offer for representation?
See, now you're thinking, well, not many people know this, but they've been receiving some mysterious transmissions. They've been working on decoding it, and they're willing to share that with the entirety of the council when they have a seat there.
Tell you what, if they're willing to share it with myself, with those in the room, and perhaps a few others, but not the entirety of the council, then I think we can work something out.
I can set up a meeting for that.
Oh. Is that scene?
Yeah, I think that's scene. That's a really good place to end
Okay,
it.
cool. So then before we do our resolves and we do our resolutions of the scene and go through that stuff, we have a chance to do reactions. And reactions is for everyone who wasn't in the scene. We can add what we think about the scene, or maybe a little like vignette. And I have my scene that I know what I want to do with me at so I don't think if this is, I guess this will just be me kind of at the recreational garden disc, I think, walking around, because it's just me talking to myself, because this is what I'm thinking about what's going on. And this is just me like inside the thoughts of the unbroken vow, who's like, walking like a very like aesthetically like in a monk's kind of outfit, right? Like very like white robes with like gold trims kind of stuff. So not like aesthetic in terms of that, but just in terms of like, or like just like religious, right? And we hear, maybe he's like talking to like a memo or something like that, and says like, soon my flock will grow as Charon will become the new seat of the vowed. That is what I'm calling my cult. The whispers of the encrypted messages that I've been giving them has finally should be leaking to the office, and our machinations should be underway. Perfect. So I'm like, haha, Machiavellian scheme is underway. So I'm very happy with this.
I have a reaction. Edison is in his lab. it's sort of dark with just a light over a terminal. So working late, and there's a notification on the terminal that pops up. It just says Saint Delta is the name, and it's with an attachment, and it's actually a copy of some decoded transmissions from Charon.
Perfect.
That he's received from someone he knows.
Yeah, like who leaked it or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. Good. Cool. So I think in Kingdom you go in order, like you go around the table. But actually, hold on, before I'm jumping ahead, we need to go ahead and resolve the rest of the scene, right? So, power. Or excuse me, perspective. So now we once again we read the crossroad, and then we say, like what was the yes? What was in the yes column? Like what is if we say yes? What is not necessarily a prediction, but like what is yes? Charon becomes Council of 21, right? That's the yes thing, and then no is Charon does not get in the council.
Status quo, yeah.
Okay, status quo. Okay. So then power. Each player with the power declares whether they are making the kingdom decide yes or no on the crossroad. Okay. If you can't explain how your character uses their power, you can't vote. You count the votes, majority wins, unless someone changes the outcome with a challenge or something like that. But I don't think we have to worry about that right now. All right.
Right.
So, how do you think power? How do you think this happened, or how do you think this went down?
Okay. I think that I just through back channels contact other people who are currently on the council and just lay out it's going to cause problems for you if you vote no. This needs to be yes.
Okay.
I thought we only make the resolution at the end of. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
You
to
do. Power makes the decision, and then perspective comes in and says what happens with yes or no.
Right, but I thought that was only when the boxes were all full.
No, that's right. The boxes have to be full. Yeah.
For finishing a scene, for predicting stuff.
No, so the way I understand it is like during the scene, anybody who's in the scene can use their role. So because Touchstone was in the scene and Power's in the scene, Power can do something with their power. Touchstone can express the gestalt, and Perspective can make a prediction. And then at the end of the scene, the Perspective player, because they created the scene, can decide which box on which card gets checked.
No, it's the power decides, but Perspective gets to say what happens if yes or no happens.
No, that's only out. So after the boxes are all full.
Oh man, have I been playing this wrong?
Yeah, after the boxes are all full, you make a decision and resolve the card.
Yeah,
but when you do a scene, you check a box at the end of the scene.
Right.
So checking a box on the crossroads is the default, but you can check crisis if you think the kingdom is in trouble.
Or you want more time.
Or time
that's right. So it's
if
it's your scene, you do get to check. I'm sorry. That's right.
So I'm going to make a check on the crossroads.
Hey, it wouldn't be Once Upon a Game if I didn't get the rules wrong. So
it's true. It's true. Okay, perfect. Resolve cards that are full. No cards are full. Okay, brilliant. So cool. I will make a.
But you're totally right, Eric. When the crossroads full, Power will be the only one who decides yes or no.
So is that a yes or an, which one are we doing for are you checking in crossroads right now?
Yeah, I'm putting a check on crossroads.
For what?
It's just for moving it towards.
Oh, just moving
resolution.
it. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And now, did you establish a prediction?
I did. I established a prediction that if the answer was no, that there would be a civil war.
Yeah. Okay. So can you write that down?
Okay.
Under no.
And
where did you put this no?
Interesting.
You put it under crossroads, like underneath the question.
There's not already a thing. Okay.
I know. I was waiting. Yeah, you can go ahead and write no because it's because you're not a GM in the Roll20s. It won't let you edit my own text boxes, so I just gonna let you do it. You know.
Fair enough.
Yep.
And
Interesting.
And Kelsa, it would be cool to put your name by it so we know that you established it, because you might lose your perspective later, and we'll need to know that you no longer control it.
Yeah, if it's
I will make it purple. You'll know it's me.
cool. Okay. Does anybody since Kelsa just went, I think the game is supposed to just kind of go in order. So I think then Jeff would make the next scene.
Okay.
I think it's probably an easy way of doing it. You
Yeah,
pass the token basically over to the left.
Okay, so am I asking another question, or am I trying to go on the same question?
You have the option of making a new crossroads.
Either.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I want to explore this crossroads more,
Yeah.
Because from my perspective, trying to be the people, or the voice of the the gestalt of the people, I feel like if the crossroads does happen, there will also be a civil war, but for the reverse reason. I almost feel like no matter what we do, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. And it's just a different group that will start the civil war if the answer is yes or no. Is that something that
yes, that's how you play this game. Yes, that is exactly.
Yeah. So is that
exactly what
is that
you
something
should
I
be doing.
do for this for my scene right now?
You should be
Okay.
basically what do you call it? Existentially torturing power.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
And power should be basically trying to become your friend all the time.
Okay.
Because they want what power asserts is they want it to feel good, right? And so like, yeah, that's what everybody wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, like that's like, but I'm doing a good thing, right? And then of course, Touchstone, if they see them colluding, they're like, oh, people hate you though for doing this. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how the game kind of spins and constantly has drama, because you're always trying to team up, but at the same time, other people are trying to bring you down.
Okay, so how? I'm not sure within the mechanics of the game how I'm supposed to go on, but I guess the scene I want to go with is
that's it. Like that's you don't need to do any more with in terms of the mechanics of the crossroad at this point. You just start. Okay. You describe the scene, what's going on,
okay,
who's in it, and
so I'm back on the bridge of the agronomics class starship, the Strawberry Hill.
Yeah,
and I'm heading back in system towards Earth. I don't know, Kelsa, I'm assuming you would also be heading home now, but I don't know if you're on my ship or if you have your own transport or what.
If you want me to be there, I can be there, but I figure I probably have my own transport.
You have your own.
Yeah.
Okay,
it can also
fine.
be a video
that's
call
totally
or something,
cool.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
or
that's totally cool.
Or whatever.
So I'm on a I have disguised my voice and face in a video call with a representative of the live feed for Space News Network.
Oh, okay. You're like you're like an anonymous source.
Yes, and
so like
I am
like the ticker tape or whatever, like blah blah blah. Like what is the what is it called? The Cryon? That's what the ticker, the TV ticker. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever. What does it say? Like what? Give us the context of like the breaking news or whatever of the interview.
Chiron. Yeah.
Yeah. So the latest news is that the council is going to vote yes on making Chiron a 21st seat.
Yeah.
And that's like a small piece of it. And then also like rumor of shipments of large shipments of food to be received on Earth colony, Mars colony.
Yeah.
Saturn colony, like whatever moon of Saturn most people are on. And it's just kind of like if this is public knowledge, then well, someone's gonna have to live up to their promises, or people are gonna get angry. And I don't know if anyone else in the like any of the other players are sympathetic with the rebellion or not. But
is this like a solo
is
scene?
anyone?
You can totally have a solo scene, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Is anyone else sympathetic at all? Like out of character? Is anyone not really? Okay.
Maybe me.
I'm not.
No worries. I just thought
Possible.
okay.
If I can use it to my advantage, I would be.
Yeah. So I
It's
guess
not
this would be
really of interest to Edison. It's not.
Yeah. Okay. So so I'm not necessarily on a live stream. I'm in a session, and he's probably recording it, but I'm in a session with someone from the Space News Network.
Oh, okay.
And they might use this later, but it's not like it's not the full interview is being broadcast. They're going to use whatever and then make a story out of it or whatever. But I'm talking to this guy who is also, as far as I know, maybe not true, but as far as I know, I think he's also a sympathizer with the rebellion, and I'm hoping that he'll use the information I'm giving him wisely. So I guess it's interviewer and interviewee, and he's asking questions about the plans for the Chiron elevation to the council. Does anyone want to step in and play as an NPC, or is that not something we do in this game?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
totally
it's
do that.
something you do. Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to do that? Be the interviewer.
I'll do it. I want to talk. I haven't talked yet.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Sure. So yeah, this is news reporter. I have to come up with a good name real quick.
Jeremy Blaine.
I was gonna go. Yeah, I was gonna be actually Motherboard Jones.
Motherboard Jones.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know,
I wish kids would stop naming their children motherboard. Like, because there's like 45 motherboards in my sixth grade class. It was so many.
It's the most popular
Yeah.
name, on the list, like of the popular kid names.
Yeah.
So,
And that poor kid in the corner named Cereal Bus is just made fun of all the time.
Yes.
Cereal Bus will make a comeback.
So I think some motherboard, is like shakes your hands and stuff, and it goes like, thank you so much for taking the time out, director, to have this interview with us. The Space SSN really appreciates everything like that, and don't worry, we'll keep everything confidential and stuff like that.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
So I guess we go through. I don't know if we want to go line by line, but we go through the first part of the interview.
Yeah, the formality
where it's just kind of an exchange of basic information.
Yeah, the
stuff.
formalities, right? Right, and then it's finally, so it's like, all right. And so now I'm asking you about again the benefits of this food. Is that what you're trying to get out of this again? Remind me so I can.
What I'm trying to do
question,
is leak the information that Chiron is being elevated.
Yeah. Okay.
And also leak the information that I don't actually believe that the premier wants to listen to me and send a bunch of food to the colonies. But I'm hoping that if it gets on the news and everybody thinks his hand will be forced.
Oh yeah. So we're going to talk to you about. So now we want to talk to you about the case of Charon and whether or not they will be admitted on the council. As the protesters on the moon want. Wait, what do you call it? A planetoid? Call it a planetoid?
I think it's a moon.
Oh, the moon.
I
Okay.
think
it's a moon of Saturn that may or may not exist, right?
No. It's a dwarf planet that shares an orbit with Pluto.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked up the wrong one. Okay.
Yeah. All right then. I will. Yeah. So I'll call it planetoid. Right.
Sure.
Yeah. So like the protests on the planetoid. They've been heating up and demanding that their cause be heard by the Council of 20.
Yeah, and the council's listening. Motherboard. The premier himself is amenable to instating Chiron as a 21st council seat, and it's very likely that this will happen. which is problematic for the people on the colonies. But it's I think that everything's going to turn out okay. And I think it's really I think what we really want to talk about today, above and beyond that trivial matter, is the likelihood of mass shipments of agricultural product back in system to the colonies.
Wow.
We have quite a large crop. We have more food growing in the belt farms than even Earth has seen planetside in at least a decade, and we have more food than the outer colonies need. So the actual planetfall colonies, I think, are poised to really benefit here.
Now that's really, really great news now, Director. However,
please don't use that. Title.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That's very, very that's very, very, very good news. But this information contradicts the latest press briefings of the premier. How there's limited supplies of food for months. Where was this food coming from?
There are limited supplies of food being sent to the colonies. I can't say that.
Are you saying the premier has been stockpiling food in secret?
Now, I wouldn't say that he's been stockpiling. We have a problem where there's a lot of uncertainty in the Outer Rim. We have countless military installations that need to be kept well stocked. There just seems to be now some new information coming to light about the projections of our output and our usage of the food. Now, I can't guarantee that it's going to make it where immediately to every colony, but it looks a very strong possibility. And I think that if everyone listening to your show is vocal to their council representatives, that this is something they look forward to, then I think it will happen that much faster.
Now, Lunaria Aerospace is the company that does the audits for the food supplies. So were they wrong then? Was this just a mistake?
I have no comment on that.
Is this a windfall? Oh, okay.
I have no comment on that.
All right.
Yeah. Lunarium, I'm sure they do a fantastic job. But the audits themselves and the information that's allowed to be disseminated to the public for obviously for defense purposes, we can't always match up. All
right.
So I think like it continues for a little bit more.
Yeah, but I think that's the scene.
But I think that the important thing to pull here is that I'm hoping that, like, outside of the interview space, there was kind of a handshake and a wink, where this guy at least is projecting the idea to me that he's going to he knows that I'm full of shit and that he's gonna make this a news story and hopefully try to sway people. And he was like playing a game when he's interviewing me like that, pretending he's surprised,
concerned, and yeah.
So that's it. That's scene.
Cool.
I don't know if there's anything I do now.
You check off.
I check something off.
Do we do reactions first? Or?
Oh yeah,
yeah, reactions. Yeah.
Anyone else can jump in and do a reaction.
Yeah, to the news story that you see.
Well, what did you perspective? Yeah, did you do any, like, establish anything?
I wanted to. I guess I didn't. I felt like I kind of established something for
that if Charon gets a seat, they won't get food, like Earth and people.
That's what I was hoping to.
You can write that down. You can say that. That's
yeah,
you can write down. Yeah.
I was. Well, it's not that they won't get food. I'm assuming they won't get the food. But what I was angling for in the previous scene that Kelsa did was, with my touchstone ability, was saying that if Chiron does get a seat, then the people on the planet colonies will start the war instead of the Chiron folks starting the war.
Yeah, sure.
It's
So
going to
they're
be
very
the
much-
inners,
they're
not the
against it,
outers.
Yeah,
Right.
and then my ploy with the food, I'm trying to prevent the war by forcing the premier to allow us to send food to distract the populace.
Oh, so you're saying right now that the populace is buying into this lie?
I'm hoping that the populace will
Yeah.
be distracted by the fact that there's food coming,
Yeah.
but they need to actually get the food. In order to get them, I'm trying to force the political hand by making it even more obvious to everyone that that's what they want is more. Like they'll forgo political representation if we feed them, because they're getting very close to starving to death, while people are like eating like kings out near the agricultural ring.
Okay.
So I guess that's what I was going for, but I kind of more was talking about that in the previous scene than my own scene. So is that still?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't have perspective, so you can't write down a prediction. But,
Right.
That's
But I still
you're
check
echoing
something
the
off.
sentiment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as touchstone, did you see what you do as touchstone?
You can check crisis an extra time.
Yeah.
Or reduce crisis if you want.
So I don't touch the crossroads.
You do. You can do
No, you
that.
can.
That's your normal move, and then you have an extra move.
Your bonus move as touchstone is.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, you can make a check to crisis, crossroad, or time passes as normal, and then make an additional check to crisis or
remove a crisis. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Or remove a crisis. Yes.
So what is crisis actually supposed to represent?
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff. Literally capital B.
So if nothing actually bad has happened yet, I wouldn't.
No, but it could be inching. It could be moving towards disarray.
Yeah, that putting a check under crisis.
Civil war sounds like a pretty good crisis, right?
Yeah. So I guess we're not at civil war yet, though.
No. Think of it like a front or like a clock. Think of it like a clock.
Oh, so it's one click towards crisis.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
It's not like a crisis triggers.
Okay.
It's a.
So I'm gonna put that there, and then if I wanted to mark the crossroads,
yeah,
what does that signify?
Turn, that we're getting closer to the crossroads finishing.
So now,
think of it this. I'm sorry, hold on. So this is how it works, right? So each of these is like basically a project clock, and when it triggers, like the crossroads, when that triggers, the person in power gets to decide yes or no.
Okay.
Right.
So I'll just do that then.
Okay.
One crossroads, one crisis.
Yes. Perfect.
Now, do I have to say? Oh, okay. So we're not doing yes or no yet.
No.
Right.
That's just a prediction. She's got a prediction for no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So while we're building up to it, the perspectives get a chance to write down predictions of what's going to happen.
Gotcha.
To kind of sway the power to do one or the other.
Okay, and only when the power makes a decision is when the touchstone really has something to say about it.
No.
No. Kind of like the touchstone.
My understanding is that you can dictate how people feel anywhere in the process.
Yeah, you have dictated that the people of the inner planet, the planet colonies in the inner planets, are leery of Chiron getting its own vote.
Okay, that's fine.
That is true now because you've said it.
Cool. So I guess Eric, if you're also the touchstone, but you're on Chiron and you're so are you the voice of the people of the outer colonies? Is that what you were going for, or no?
I think I'm kind of everywhere, but I do have a brig holding on over there.
Cool.
Yeah. I will explain. I think what I want to do a little bit with spoilers. I'm totally going to be grabbing Edison into it as well. But I'm just gonna wait for it. So don't mind me. But I don't have a reaction for your scene. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think still on Europa, Andronicus is talking to essentially the head of the 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 future version of the NSA. Call it the I don't know what to call it actually.
The Panopticon.
The PSA, sure, or just the Panopticon. Yeah, I like that. As always, events are in motion. There are a couple of things I need you to attend to. One, there's someone on the council, Elder Persimmon, I think it is. Maybe it's Pear. Persimmon for sure. Keep an eye on her. I think that she's angling, and I need to know what she's saying and to whom. The other thing is a little bit more complicated. When I need you to put together an op that will give every appearance that we are that the outer colonies, Europa in specific, are sending significant shipments to Earth, and one of them should get through. However, the perception needs to be that the others were intercepted by the resistance. With the
I like that.
balance of materials going to the reserve, of course.
Nice.
I, as a player, like that. I don't much think my character would, but I like that.
But I'm complying for
Yeah.
once.
That's good. I like that a lot.
Brilliant.
Okay, cool. No, I like that. That's really good. That's a good twist.
I have a small, a very short reaction, and I think it's just Elder Persimmon is like in her room on a spaceship. It's kind of small and cramped, meaning it's 20 to 30 feet on a side, which is ridiculously large in a spaceship instead of a smaller chamber. Anyway, she's like in her bunk basically, and she's got like a bunch of different screens on, and one of them is this news report that is like anonymous informant remarks that,
Leaker.
and like
yeah.
and she clicks up the volume, and she kind of smiles and says, playing that, sorry, I forgot my voice already. Playing that god, is he? Well, maybe he's got more balls than I thought.
Nice. I like that. That's good. That's good a lot. Oh, that's really good. Cool. Nice. Let's do one more, like around the horn, and then we can go to our break. So,
Yeah,
Did you want a
who's the
reaction, Roman?
No, I don't have a reaction to that.
Just
Thank
checking.
I have no reactions ever. As a human. Cool. Cool. Roman, I think it's your turn, buddy.
Okay, cool. All right, so this scene is going to take place. So I guess I would normally meet up with you, the Unbroken Vow.
Mm-hmm. You can meet up with anybody. You can meet up with people you don't have bonds with either. That's totally.
No, I mean in terms of where we would normally meet.
Yeah. You're also not bound to your own locations, right?
Yeah. So what did you think this bazaar is like? What does this describe that to me? Is that like a?
So I was thinking something like a terminal market or like a public market. I'm thinking of So like it's on a space station. So I very much imagine sort of like a ring like bazaar, right? So it's like multiple
Mhm.
almost like an inside of a giant mall, right? With
Like
a
the
bunch
Deep Space Nine promenade.
yeah,
or
right?
the Zoloco and Babylon 5.
I've never seen Babylon 5. I'm the worst. But yeah, like I'm imagining sort of like that sort of like Halo-ish kind of ring. Like you kind of see all the stores like keep going for a while, and you see all the
Mhm.
people like walking through the promenades. There's fountains. It's very busy.
Mhm.
Very like cyberpunky in terms of the neon signs. And like trying to very commercial, just very very like overtly commercial. Everything's incredibly marketed. Advertisements everywhere, right? Like everything. It's very distracting here, right? Everything is vying for your attention.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like your room key has an ad on the back.
Yeah.
So I think this scene's going to take place there, and you're going to be in it,
Okay.
and I think that's it. It's just the two of us.
Ooh.
Uh,
Okay.
and the reason that we're here.
Oh, real quick, Roman, did you want to did you want to make a new crossroads? Did you have that chance?
No, this
Okay.
is fine.
Sorry,
So,
I wanted to make sure. Yeah, okay.
yeah. So the reason that we're here, I think, is that I think I've just asked you to meet me for. I think I just asked you to meet me.
Yeah, we get lunch, but when you ask
Yeah,
me for lunch, but when you
yeah,
ask me for lunch, we're actually going to be talking about something. You know what I mean?
right,
Like,
right.
yeah,
Want to
right.
get lunch?
Yeah.
Uh,
Sure. So of course, then we're here. We are we're in Lunaria's bazaar. What are we doing? It's still your scene, so
Yeah, so I kind of we exchange sort of the small talk and the pleasantries,
yeah.
and then when I feel like we're kind of in a quieter part of the street, and I sort of stop you short, and I say, do you remember when you told me that the most important technology that it was not building a faster spaceship. It was not learning how to produce more food, but it was learning how to become one with the universe. And I sort of brushed it off, not understanding what you meant by that. Do you recall that conversation?
Of course, that's the principal teachings of the Lamentations of Ganymede.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I thought you were crazy, but
Many do.
I'm sure you probably think the same of me most of the time. In any case, I received some information last night that maybe has opened my eyes to exactly what that means from a purely scientific perspective. You understand?
Ooh. I get that little. I mean, I don't. Okay, we don't see this because I have a very straight face, but this is a very Machiavellian moment, being like, "It leaked to you," kind of thing. Like, "Ooh, how am I gonna spin this?" Right. So I'm just like nodding, listening to you when you're saying this.
Look, I don't quite understand what it means yet. It's all. I'm still running some models to try to make sure that I get this right, because I don't want to extrapolate and come to the
Do
wrong
we?
conclusion.
Yeah. Do you have a copy? Can we listen to it?
It's not really something you listen to. It's difficult to describe. Think mixed media, but just let me ask you a question.
Sure. Anything.
Do you think it would change the world if people could, this is really the wrong word, breathe in outer space?
Absolutely.
We're talking no spacesuits. We're talking no need to construct artificial atmospheres on a planet like Mars.
You would never Are you talking about like terraforming tech? Like
No, I'm talking about an actual change to our
us.
very metabolism. Anyway, I still have to think about this more, but yeah, I think these are the kinds of transmissions that they're receiving at the station in Charon.
I will have to. I should look into this because I have not heard of these incoming transmissions. Obviously lying to you. But here's what we don't see. Around the same time of me making these fake transmissions, I think real ones did get in, and I think that the real ones when they came in, I like bring up my. So I think what we see, I'm gonna bring it on screen. I think what we're gonna see. I think you're gonna see me, bring out some like prayer beads real quick, and like I'm like, don't worry, I'm not gonna pray, and I like put like my hand over it or whatever, and makes like a visual display of like the data of my fake, encrypted stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna let you in on a secret, Edison. Is this the data? And it's not. It's not the data.
Yeah, it's not the data.
Yeah. And I'm like,
No,
are you sure?
What I can tell, absolute nonsense.
Yeah, and I put it away like again and like put the prayer beads back up my arm, and he's like, yeah, it is. Are you talking about what transmission did you actually receive? Like my tone went from like nodding like yes this is all very interesting to like wait, what did you actually get? I'm very concerned right now.
Well, I mean, I have friends who are at the receiving station, and they send me data to run through some of my more specialized models that are more advanced than what they have, and I do some of that work for them, and I send it back, and likewise they in return they help transmit some of my experimental transmissions out and beyond the universe.
This is
to receive an answer back, but in any case, I didn't know there was more than one transmission. That this is just what I received.
Oh man. Oh. I feel like I need to cut off lunch to like go figure out what the hell this is and like catch up because I feel like there's something else now in play. But I'm thinking more that I'm thinking that it was probably like the premier or someone who's like double crossing me or something like this right now. Right? Like someone's double crossing my political play. So I'm like, so I feel like you're just getting in on this. I don't feel like I even like trust you about this. Like you're getting this information. Like you need to send me the names of these people who sent this to you, Edison. This is very important.
You're putting me in a really tough position. I mean, I'm coming to you primarily because we discuss these things and we often confide in each other about I think we share a similar view about the universe, maybe from different perspectives, but if I were to give you this information, the problem is that
this information, if it is what you say it is, could change everything.
Absolutely, it could change everything. In fact, if the thing is that I know I'm not supposed to have this information. I understand that the Charon group is trying to get into the council, and this may be their only bargaining chip. And the fact that they share it with me is something that I can't betray that confidence. And if this if they don't get into the council because this information no longer has any value, and this is my perspective prediction here, just to make that meta announcement. That if that happens, then it's quite likely that they will destroy the information before it can be obtained. there's much more than this. There's troves of it. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, it looks like I'm going to be adding Aaron back on my itinerary. Well, this has been a wonderful lunch. Thank you very much, Edison.
Scene.
Reactions from anybody?
Do we have an opportunity to react even if we don't technically know it happened?
Yeah, the reaction can be you as a player, like making something happen that just happens to coincide pretty interestingly with what just happened.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
I can't think of anything for me right now. Does anyone else have one?
No, I don't have one. But then I was in the scene, so.
You were just in that scene. Shush.
There.
I don't think I have one either.
Yeah, I thought it was really intriguing, and that prediction goes down in the crossroads, right? That's also that's
Yeah, you write down.
The information will be destroyed.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have a reaction though.
Okay, sure. There doesn't have to be one.
Ooh, that's too good.
Cool. All right then. So then, you go ahead and you write the perspective, and then you check off one of the boxes.
How many times have you done that where you go to click back onto a window and you close the window instead of selecting it?
All the time. Only all the time.
Only
Cool.
all the time. It's great.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna mark crossroad.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Then we'll pick up after the break with Brad's scene. All right. Cool. So we'll be right back, guys, in 5 minutes. See you on the other side.